Hey, I got some tips and tricks for you today on how to make some biscuits with some pretty simple ingredients. Works out fine every time, light, fluffy, layered. Let's get cooking. All right, let's get to the tips of making successful biscuits. The biggest thing is keep everything really, really cold. That's what gives you them fluffy layers. So I always put a little bit of ice in a stainless steel bowl. Just put some ice in there. Cool that thing down, you won't have any heat. So let me dump the ice out and then we're gonna dry this out. Dump that ice out, we'll dry the bowl out so we don't have extra water in there. Nothing big exciting about that. I pre-measured all my dry ingredients and we'll just put them in this bowl here. I just use a fork, I'm old school. I do whisk sometimes, but I don't know. It seems like to me a fork is just as easy, and I don't even know if they had whisks back in the old days. So somehow they managed to cook, so we're gonna cook. Combine all of the baking powder, flour, and salt together good. Get her mixed up, nothing special. Just make sure you combine that good. All right, the next trick I use is I freeze my butter. So let me get a stick of butter out of the freezer immediately. Don't let it sit out. When you're ready to put it in, get it out of the freezer. And we're going to grate it right into these dry ingredients. So just have a grater. You can have a box grater, any kind of grater. You want them to be somewhat bigger chunks, but we just want to grate this in here. A little bit of effort. If you have a food processor, by all means, just put it on the shred setting and have at it. So let me get this shredded in here and I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, I kind of got that all shredded in. When you get down to a piece that's kind of getting close to your fingers, my recommendation would be to stop. You can save the last little piece to put on your biscuits. So I think we're pretty much done with this part. So let's move on and add our liquids. We'll set that aside and save it for later. So we got all that butter in there. Just want to gently combine this. Get it all mixed in with the flour and the baking powder and salt. It'll look a little crumbly. And get it all combined. I think that looks pretty good. That's what you want. It's like little, I don't know, pea-sized little clumps of that beautiful butter and flour. Then we got some buttermilk. Just a cup of buttermilk. I don't put it all in right out of the go. I do it probably about 3/4 of it. See what we look like. Seems like every time it's a little different. So don't dump it all in, just dump about that much in or so. Set that aside and just kind of fold it in on itself. Of course, if you don't have buttermilk, you can make your own. You can use milk and vinegar or something. Lime juice, lemon juice, let me know. I forget which one. But you can make your own. Easy to look up nowadays with the internet. Just do yourself a little search and find out what it is. All right, so we're not quite wet enough, so we'll go about half of what's remaining and save a little bit more. And you just want to combine this gently, a little bit as you go. Just knock that wet part off, get it combined in there. Looks like it's going to take the whole thing today, so let's just dump her in there. This isn't going to look like pancake batter. It's going to have some dry spots and some combined spots, and that's okay. I think we're pretty decent. That's what we want. We want that to kind of be combined. Most of it is. There's a little dry in the bottom, which won't be a problem. That's what you want, kind of that layered look. Don't let them couple pieces get away. So next step, just flour your board, your countertop, whatever you're using. You don't need a lot, just, I don't know, 1/4 cup or so. Just get some flour on there. And we'll get that moved around a little bit. And you just want to dump this out on that. Now I don't use a rolling pin or anything. I use the method of you pat it down and you fold it like a book in thirds. So fold, fold. You see them bits of butter in there. Grab it, move that flour around, flip it over, pat it down. Because you want to make layers, and you can do it either direction. Obviously, doesn't make a difference. You just want to do that. I typically do it about 4 times. So that was 2 times. Flip it again. Flip it again. That's looking pretty good. What was that? 3 times? That's 1 inch on me. So that's probably about 3/4 of an inch. Just do it again. Just do 1 more for good measure. I think it's okay. Pat it out, give it another flip. Just a book fold kind of flip. And that's it. So there's the dough. And like I said, I just use my hands. I don't use a rolling pin or anything. And we'll get the old trusty Lodge cast iron skillet. I always just hit it with a little cooking oil or oil of your choice, doesn't matter. I have this cool spray bottle, works great. Kind of rub that around, make sure it's everywhere. Plus the advantage to putting cooking oil in there when you're baking, it helps to keep your pan nice and seasoned. Not quite at the temperature of seasoning, but still awesome nonetheless. And another little trick, put a little flour off to the side. Every time you go to cut, you stick this in here a little bit. You'll get a wee little bit of flour on there. You don't want to twist, you want to push and pull it out of there. So there it is, a biscuit. That's all there is to it. And we'll cut again. Obviously I'm just using the glass here. Should have put that in the flour like I just suggested. And we'll put that in there. Look at that, how easy. It's really not that hard to make biscuits. I know it seems like it's intimidating. You don't want to twist, as I just said, but it always feels like it's a little intimidating. It's not. It's pretty easy. And then when you get to this point, just put this back together, straighten her up a little bit. Well, you should probably get at least 2 more, if not 3 out of here. Get that one. See, they just come right out. You can use a cup. I guess it's a glass. Get that one, and that's it. Look at that. You can see the layers in there. These should cook up really, really nice. We'll kind of just make that one into a biscuit. We don't even need the cup. And right there, my friends, are the biscuits. How many is there? 7 biscuits out of that recipe. And these are pretty big ones, so you can make them small, whatever. That happens to be the cup size. These are ready to go in the old oven. Let's get them in there. So I usually start out around 20 minutes, I think. Heck, I don't even know. I just keep an eye on them. I'll turn the light on, I'll look in every once in a while, make sure. I don't like burned biscuits, but I want them done, so they're cooking. We'll check them here momentarily. Hey, we got about 4 minutes on that timer on them biscuits, so I'm gonna give her a look-see, probably move it up a level just so them tops get golden brown. So let's see what they look like. Oh, they're looking good. Look at that big one in the middle. We're gonna just move them up to the top, and we got 4 minutes on the timer. I don't know if that's gonna be long enough, but we'll give her a shot, see what happens. Every time they seem like a couple, 3 minutes one way or the other. I just keep an eye on them and then make sure that top's golden brown. That beautiful timer is going off. Let's take a quick gander. I don't think they're quite done yet. The bottoms are nice and golden browns, but the top's not done. Go about 4 more minutes. All right, I went another 4 minutes on those, so I guess that was 24 minutes total on them biscuits. Let's see what they look like. Those look pretty dang good. Hey, I plated up a couple of these biscuits. Let's put a little butter. Remember, this is the butter I saved from shredding, so I didn't shred my fingertips off. Look how many layers. Look at all them layers. Oh, these look good. We'll put a little piece of butter on there, close the lid. You can make biscuits however you want. Some people like them a little firmer. I like them kind of like this because they're kind of somewhat in between of being super fluffy and not being super fluffy. Look at that one. Look at all them beautiful layers. See all that? That's what I like. They're not burned on the bottom, they're just brown, perfectly done inside. And you know what we need to do? We need to taste one of these. Let's just take some butter, put on this top part. That looks really good. Let's see. That is good. Very light. You can taste the butter that was in the dough. Crispy, light, airy. Great biscuit. Goes good with sausage gravy. I'll probably show you how to do that in an upcoming video. Hit that subscribe button and you won't miss the combined total of my biscuits and my sausage gravy. I think I have another bite. I'm telling you what, them biscuits are good. So as always, if you like my videos, you might pick up a couple tips and tricks from a 50-year cooking guy. Slam that subscribe button. I'd love to have you watch. You know, I just cook stuff. I'm like, why not put it on YouTube and help some people out? I've been at it for a long time. So I'm gonna eat some more of these biscuits and you all have a great day. See you on the next video.